Hello, and welcome to Being Greek, Season 4, Episode 1. Hey Siri, how many days has it been?
It was 1,364 days ago.
It's been 1,364 days since I first decided to become Greek. And guess what? You're here to find out, I guess. Alright. It's been a long time since we spoke. I think it's actually been a year. Time goes by quick. So where do I begin? Well, let's just start, I guess, at the very beginning. 2024. So 2024, if you saw my video from 2024, I decided to kick off the new year in Greece, in Athens, and it was a tremendous experience. I know a lot of people that are Greek, that live abroad or that were born abroad but have connections to the country, love the country, but they love the country in the summer. They love summer vacations, they love islands, they love the beach, and I like that too, just like everybody else. But being in Greece in the winter is just sort of, I don't know, it's a totally different experience. It's still busy. It's not as touristy, but it's still quite busy with people. And it was just an incredible experience. It was a great, incredible way to start the new year. I actually recorded a video there for my channel here. And I loved it. It was a super fun time. And I just remember the clock striking the new year for 2024 and just being under the Acropolis and looking up at it and just thinking, wow, this is going to be the best year yet. Had a tremendous experience. And I really was looking forward to 2024 being the best year that I had ever had. And I thought this is going to be the year that all this Greek stuff, oh, I'm also wearing my Greek cufflinks. This is also going to be the year that my Greekness comes through and everything's great. Well, you saw some of the updates from last year. We hit some roadblocks, and where I think we left off was we were at the point where we needed to get our birth certificate amended. So we need to get my birth certificate amended, changing the names on it, changing the birth dates of my parents on it to reflect what Greece has. And then changing my parents' marriage certificate. I think that's kind of where we were. All right. Well, so here we are now. How the heck do I do it? You know, the consulate in Toronto says, hey, you need to get this amended. Off you go. Well, what the heck do I have to actually accomplish that? So I do have the big Greek bag of all of my folders and papers and everything in there, but I don't really have anything to help me do this. I have a family history, an official family history, but is that good enough to change someone's birth certificate? Probably not. So we kind of got a little dejected with it. We're going away on summer vacation. I tried to do some stuff before I went away. Didn't work out so well. And then I actually did go on summer vacation, which was great. It was in Portugal and Greece, except I got COVID for the first time in all the years. So it took me all these years to get it, and I get it right when I'm on vacation. So I was in Portugal for 2 weeks, and then I was supposed to be in Athens for a week. Basically, this first or second day that I was in Athens, I got sick. So my country didn't give me COVID. I believe it was from Portugal, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. So I was totally sick. I didn't get to enjoy much of that time. I was in bed for a couple of days. And then after that, I started to venture out, but I basically missed my whole vacation in Athens, which is always something that I look forward to. So I was really upset about that. Anyways, I came back. I actually lost a really good friend of mine in October, which was tough, and spent some time kind of going through that and processing things. And then I lost another really good friend in March. So the running joke right now is don't be friends with me because they're dropping like flies. Bad joke. So it's been a tough year. Work's been tough. Everything's been tough. and the Greek stuff kind of went on the back burner. I just was like, I don't see how this is going to happen. And for the first time, notwithstanding the fact that I was so excited about 2024 and thinking that things were going to turn around and that I was finally going to get this Greek stuff sorted out, it didn't really work out that way. I did try so almost a year ago now, it's June of 2025. In June, Canada Day of 2024, I actually took a trip up north, and the registry office for births, maybe for everything, is up north. It's in Thunder Bay, and so I just was taking a summer trip up to the great Canadian North, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring my papers, and maybe if I can actually walk in there and talk to somebody, it's going to be better than just trying to fill out these forms without proper supporting documentation and see how it goes. So I did. I brought my bag of Greek papers with me, and I found out where the office was, and I showed up there on a very rainy day, and guess what? It's closed. They don't let people actually come into the office. I was like, what do you mean you can't go in?
Somebody has put a voodoo upon me. Closed.
So I have no idea if they actually have staff at this office or if it's just a post office box, but I went to the government building. I tried to get in, and the security said, no, you got to just call the number. So that wasn't very productive. All right. So then what did we do? We kind of just left things after that for a bit. There was just a lot going on. I did make an appointment in April of this year, right before the Canadian election. Wow, how much has changed in the past year since we last spoke? But right before the Canadian election, I was in Ottawa.
Save Canada! Anybody but Pierre, please, please don't vote for him, please, please.
Just for personal reason, just a weekend getaway sort of thing, and I did book an appointment with the embassy, the Greek embassy in Ottawa.
All right, so here it is. It's a little nondescript. The Greek flags kind of give it away, though. Do I go in, or am I going to be humiliated here? I have no idea.
And I brought my stuff. Now, you do have to deal with your local, wherever you reside, your local Greek office that's close by there. So in the case of me being in Toronto, it's the Toronto consulate. But I did make an appointment in Ottawa. And you know what? Here's the thing. They were really incredible. They were incredibly kind to me. I can't say enough about the people there, and I kind of walked through the situation, and you know what they did? They actually gave me, I mean, I had to pay for it, but they actually gave me my parents' birth certificates. So I had tons of documents. I had tons of documents, but not their actual birth certificates. And they were, I mean, I had to pay, I can't remember how much it was. I had to pay for it. They generated it for me, stamped it. I then also had to get a translator. They put me in touch with their translator who translated the documents for me. So it kind of begs the question a bit, if the consulate in Toronto is saying to me, go get your birth certificate amended, off you go, but they're not helping me do that. They're not giving me anything. But then I was able to get an appointment at the embassy, and they were able to give me the birth certificate stuff and say, off you go, but you have to go back to Toronto to get this processed. It's just so frustrating. It's like, come on. Like, these guys in Toronto have access to the same stuff. And again, maybe I'm just completely out to lunch and don't understand how it works, but from what I've been able to gather, the people in Toronto have access to the same computer system that the embassy in Ottawa does. So instead of saying to me, hey, go out there and get this birth certificate amended, why wouldn't they give me my parents' birth certificates or help me generate those and then say, take these and get your birth certificate amended and come back? So that's where we are now. I have my parents' birth certificates, and I did go to, I took them to Service Ontario.
All right, so we're now in the Service Ontario. I don't know if you're supposed to film in here, but I am. So we're going to see if these documents are going to help us to become Greek. Stay tuned. I better turn this off, though. Watch my number.
I think it was Service Ontario. When I was in Ottawa, And I showed it to the guy and he said, yeah, this should work. However, you need the translated versions, which I did get. So I do have that now. I do have the paperwork that I need. I need to fill it in and send it off. And if I can get that done now, I should be able to, if I can get my birth certificate amended, I have no idea how long that takes, then I should be able to take that to the consulate in Toronto and they should be able to help me with that part. But I still need to get my parents' marriage recorded properly. And when I was in, so I was in Athens, I mentioned, what a year it's been. So I was in Athens for New Year's Eve of 2024 and it was great. And I had summer vacation, as I mentioned. I was in Portugal, then I was in Athens. I was sick while I was in Athens, so I didn't really get a chance to do anything. And yes, of course, I had carried my Greek papers back to Greece with me. So then, having had such a great time in Athens last New Year's, I thought, let's do it again this year. Let's do a do-over. So I went back to Athens for New Year's Eve 2025, and it started off great until I found a bed bug in the apartment that I was staying in. The one I've stayed there many times before, a great place. And so that was like, oh, come on. Like, I was just here in August and my vacation was ruined because I got COVID. And now here I am again. I'm looking forward to this. I was really looking forward to being away. And now there's this bed bug. And now I've got to try to find a hotel and try to make sure I'm not bringing any with me. And, trying to find a hotel on New Year's in Athens. It's not that hard, but it's expensive, very expensive.
I love the Electro Metropolis. I think he thinks we're still drunk, so he brought us some Prosecco.
Incidentally, when I was in Portugal this summer too, I also found a bed bug in a hotel that I was staying at. So I was checking into the hotel, checked in. I always check. I'm going to give you some tips. If you travel a lot, if you travel at all, you need to check for these things and be aware of them. Because if you get them, knock on wood, if you get them, it's going to be really awful to deal with. But I also found one, I checked into a hotel, I go into the room to inspect it and found one and was out within 2 minutes. I was like, I'm not staying here, I'm out. And so now again, so this is a big problem. This is totally not about our topic here today, but this is a big problem. You need to do some research on this and check. Like whenever you're staying somewhere, check, and look up precautions about dealing with these things. There's been a crazy resurgence of this. But anyways, so now here I was in Athens again, and now my New Year's vacation's ruined because I'm trying to find a hotel. I'm having to pack up all my stuff and move again. And then I'm nervous because I'm like, did any get in me? Now I'm very careful. I always keep my luggage in the bathroom. I always keep everything in the luggage. I keep stuff bagged up. I don't leave anything out, no matter where I stay. I know it sounds a little crazy, but it's a fairly big problem. So my vacation in Athens and at the start of this year didn't get off to a super start. Had a good time. There was a little bit of stress. I ended up moving to another apartment where I was attacked by a Madagascar hissing cockroach. Oh my God! Oh my God! Jesus Christ! So, anyways, I did try when I was in Athens to do some work on my parents' marriage certificate, but because of the disruption with the bed bug, I wasn't able to get to Kalamata, which is where I would have needed to have gone. So I did try to make some calls and see if I could find somebody to help me amend it in Athens or at an office in Athens, but no, they sent me back to Kalamata, which I wasn't able to do. So that's my update. It hasn't been great. It's been challenging, but hopefully now with these documents from the embassy, we should be able to get some traction. I'm sorry that I haven't given you an update. I kind of dropped it. I dropped it. Too much going on, and it just, I kind of gave up on it a bit. I was like, this is never going to happen. It's just like, this is crazy. So we're back on. We're going to get this paperwork done. See what we can do here. So I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for watching. And I'll put out more updates in a more expedient fashion. I'm sorry about this. If you're traveling, look up info on bed bugs. Maybe I'll post, check the description. I'll post some tips because you really have to check everywhere you go. My friends laugh at me. Whenever I'm staying somewhere, I rip apart the room. I check the whole thing. And you know what? These same friends now that have seen these two situations in the summer and then again in January are now converted. No more making fun of me. Everybody's on board with checking, so that's a good thing. But make sure that you're checking that stuff out. I hope everybody's doing well, and stay tuned for the next update. Hopefully we'll have some good news to share finally, because it's only been, hey Siri, how many days has it been?
It was
1,364 days ago. So this time the delay is mostly my fault because I've dropped it, but the bureaucracy is really next level. All right, thank you very much, guys. Talk to you soon.